All right, we are going to do some seated upper body workouts today. So, phone's ringing. Okay. So, preferably you would have a dumbbell set, but today it looks like I only have one dumbbell, but I got plenty of resistance bands, so that's fun. I got ankle straps. I need to put those. Take these to the gym with me. I'm taking a lot of these to the gym with me. Anywho, all right, moving right along. If you have bands, dope. I'm going to show you how to do this with the dumbbell and with the bands. I may need to scoot back some more so you can see all of me. Okay, cool. So first up, to warm up, you're going to get one of the bands with the least amount of resistance. If you don't have a band, you can get a sweater, a towel, a broomstick, something. And I want you to, if you got a band, you're gonna want to get it so that there's no, that it's like nice and I don't know why taut came into my head, but tight, like with not a lot of slack. And you're gonna go back slowly and do your shoulder dislocates. So inhale, as you take it back, and then exhale. You may not be able to go all the way back the first few times or the first several times or until your shoulders get used to it. You may have a shoulder impingement and this may not hurt or this may not work because it hurts. So you get to just come back as far as you can, even if it's just raising them to the front, right? If all your shoulders are permitting is for you to raise it to the front, then I want you to still put some tension in that rope or grip the broomstick or towel very tightly and come straight up with a braced core and with your shoulder blades squeezed too. There we go. Waking up that upper body. And if you have a band, right, or even if you don't have a band, whatever you have, I want you to squeeze your shoulder blades together and imagine like bringing your arms down, like there was a rope attached to your shoulder blades, bringing your shoulder blades down. And that's how I want you to bring your object closer behind your back. If you can go behind your back, if not, just bring it down front like this and squeeze your shoulder blades as it comes close to your chest. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so how that happened, that was dope. All right, next, lost my train of thought. I want you to get a heavier or a stronger resistance band. There we go. All right, you go with whatever one you want. And if you have dumbbells, then I just want you to grab your dumbbells. If you only have one kettlebell, grab your one kettlebell. I'll show you how to do each one. We're gonna do seated rows. So grab your object, and again, you're gonna use your shoulder blades to imagine like there are strings from heaven bringing your shoulder blades together. And as you squeeze your shoulder blades together, that's what I want you to initiate the pulling movement with. So squeeze the shoulder blades and then let your biceps pull the rest of the weight up. Okay, so that's how you do a bent over row with one. If you have two dumbbells on your sides, same thing, squeeze your shoulder blades together and let them initiate the movement, and then let your arms bring up the rest of the weight. Now with all exercises, you inhale first, and then as you finish the contraction or as you do the hard part, the squeezing part, then that's where you exhale, right? Okay. Now with the band. And so if it's tight or heavy like this one, you'll probably want to have your feet closer together. If your band is a little bit lighter and it's not strong, like it's not a challenge, then you will want to stand farther apart to make it more of a challenge. But this is heavy, so I don't need to do that. All right, now we're going to do a total of 12. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, initiate the movement, take a deep breath in, and then exhale. Hold the last one. Hold your squeeze shoulder blades together and release. Okay, I want you to do that 2 more times. The second exercise that we're going to do seated is going to be a seated shoulder press. So if you just have one heavy kettlebell or one dumbbell, then you just do one arm at a time. Unless you have a super band, which is like the giant one with the loop that we use to do push-ups or pull-ups with. I don't think any of us have one of those. Yeah, no, even if you, that's not safe. That's how you get smacked with a resistance band. So even if you are doing it with a band, you're gonna have to stand. You have to do it one at a time. So step on the resistance band, grab it, put it behind your elbow, and push upward, straight to the ceiling. Make sure that it doesn't fly out and around. So that may require you to go slow and controlled because it might snap when you go too far up or snap around. We don't want that. That's embarrassing. Okay? So you do 10 to 12 of those. Hopefully you have a weight or the option to have a weight because this is what it looks like. You're doing it with a kettlebell. Inhale, sit up straight, push your feet down to the floor, brace your chest, and inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And you would do this depending on how heavy the weight is or how light the weight is. Let's say you have like something that feels very light to you, then you can go ahead and aim for a higher number of reps, like maybe 12 at most, 10 to 12. If you have something that is a challenge for you, then you get to stay within the 8 to 10 rep range per arm. You can go ahead and pause and do 3 sets of those. 8 to 10 if it's a heavy, 10 to 12 if it's a pretty lightweight for you. And put some music on too. Now we'll do what is this called? Lateral raises for your shoulders. Those are my favorite to train for women because they change so quickly. Like you can notice your shoulder definition coming in so much faster, and your quadriceps. If you're able to do squats, lunges, leg press is the safest one. If you are just starting and you have knee issues or knee pain, the leg press or the leg, what I'm doing right here, knee extension, which we'll actually get to after we finish these. So for this, you are always going to want to have a lighter weight with your shoulders because the shoulder muscles are very sensitive. As you probably already know, rotator cuff tears are very common. So we pay attention to form, weight, reps, and all that stuff with our shoulders. We take good care of them. All right, so when you are doing a lateral raise, again, you're going to be sitting up straight, clench your butt cheeks, and push into the floor, core is braced. I keep saying that, right? Elbows are going to be bent like this, right? And I want you to lead out with your elbows, not your wrist. So initiate the movement with your elbows, so it's nice and wide. Okay? If you're able to, try to stop and pause at the top. If your shoulders are not about that life and you can't go out to the side because of your shoulder injury, I want you to try to come forward. These are frontal raises. Same thing, slightly bent elbows. You can't really lead with your elbows on this one, so you get to lead with your wrist. Okay. If you can do the outward, regardless of which one you can do, aim for 12 to 15 reps of those. If you can do both, awesome. Do a superset. A superset would be doing 10 to 12 of these and then resting for like maybe 15 to 20 seconds. And then coming back and doing these. You can do them one at a time too. You can do alternating if you want, but you don't want to swing. You want to initiate the movement with your shoulders, mind-muscle connection. And then after you do 10 to 12 of those, then you rest for about 30 seconds to a minute. And then you do it all again 3 times. That's what a superset is. Yay! So do your superset or do whichever one of those movements you can do. You can't do both, frontal or lateral raises. Next up, we're gonna do some leg work now. So you should be able to go like this. unless you have done something terrible to your upper legs. You should be able to raise it like this. If you need to lean back in your chair, that's great. These are just, this is gonna be a quad strengthening exercise, and I was considering telling you or showing you a little trick, but I don't want you to hurt yourself. If you have a light kettlebell, right? Because this one is 15 pounds, this isn't necessarily light. But if you have one that your foot can fit into and you can raise it up like this, I want you to try to do a few of those repetitions if you feel like this is too easy for you. But you know me, I can make this a challenge. So let's do it. So when you lift your leg up, this is not a challenge. Go ahead and lift it up and hold. And make sure that your core is braced. Take your time and really focus on clenching those butt cheeks, bracing your core. The more you focus on the muscle groups, the more activated you'll feel those muscles, and the harder it gets. So if you do that, and you can make it to 10 to 12 repetitions per leg, that's 24 reps, and your legs still don't feel like they're being challenged, then you have my permission to get your little kettlebell and do these one at a time with your foot. If not, do what we just did, 10 to 12 reps per leg. You guessed it, 2 to 3 sets. If 2 wins you, cool. If you got it in you to do a third, do it. All right, and last but not least, do calf raises. I want you to just simply come up and stand on your calves and hold them. So bring them up and squeeze. I know this seems pointless, but trust me. Just activating those calves, letting them know you're there. If you want, and if you're able to, you can put a weight on one of those legs, or both of them, depending on what you have access to. And calves can take high repetitions as well. So those calves get to do 15 to 20 reps. So come up, hold for 1 to 2 seconds, and down with a weight on it too if you have it. Now keep in mind that your calves hold your body up all day long, if you stand especially, so they're already gonna be pretty strong. But if you have a sedentary job, then you definitely wanna err toward the 20 reps per set. And do those 15 to 20 reps, take a full 20-second rest, and then repeat again 2 to 3 times. Okay, and that's a workout. Hopefully you had a good mind and muscle connection, and as long as you're bracing your core throughout your workouts, you should feel a pretty good workout without having to jump around and act a fool. That's one of my goals as a coach, is to teach you how to have a very good connection to your body, because the more connected you are to your body, the quicker you'll start to see your body change, and you'll feel more confident. And we can get on to the other hippity-dippity stuff, like your intuition and manifesting. What? Okay, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, I hope you enjoyed your workout. Love your feedback. Let me know how it went.